and jerk it. Go to work and do that dance that'll make your whole body hurt. Playing Bombardier, calm and clear. This that time of the year for everybody to be boisterous. Rock with Snoop Dogg and rejoice to this.
As we go on, like we do, when it's hot outside, I wanna just chill with you, What you need, a little mind at ease. There's a little sunshine in the summer breeze. Oh, yes, right. Baby, if you feel the same, let me know. If you feel the same, then let me know. Yes, I do. What you got to lose?
Shined up my white wall.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today we have an exciting matchup between two teams looking to perform on a big stage. It's the Vikings going up against the Titans. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
First down, Mariota. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Second down now after the pass completion. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
It
comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And this belongs to the Vikings.
All right, partner, this is where I get to show my age. Because I remember when the strip sack kind of came into vogue, where defenders were taught not just to make the tackle, but do that little extra, try and jostle the arm of the runner and knock it free. And that's what we just saw there.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 63 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme. It's not working. I mean, you can do it all day long, all night long. They did it all week, and it hasn't worked. And, in fact, on that last sack, I thought I saw him drop a Pro Bowl ballot at the feet of the quarterback and say, here's a pin right in my name.
Well, he keeps playing like this. He'll be dropping those ballots from a plane above the city. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 44-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now a handoff looking right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Atkins now. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to fire one. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. And what a moment we have just witnessed. We have a new all-time passing touchdown leader.
And how fortunate are we to be here to witness this in person, to see someone take their spot at the top of the list, one of the all-time great records in sports.
Extra point attempt to come here. And it's good to make it 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 20.
He's got daylight. The 40, the 30, 10, touchdown Titans. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans get the quick strike touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. So he shifts past him. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. Slot man moves right. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. And partner, the record book for career receiving yardage has officially been rewritten.
And Brandon, it was done not in small passes, but in big chunks all the time. This guy knew how to get downfield, create yardage, and now he sits with the record, the all-time record for receiving yardage in the NFL.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And now here's a carry heading left. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! All right, now, look at 56. Look at
They're going to try and throw. He's going to let this one go deep. A swing pass caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 27. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now a handoff as they run left side. Room to run past midfield. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play there for Minnesota. 48 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
Whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Mariota now on second down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really?
Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down, knock the ball free, get it back. They got a chance to really increase their lead and put themselves in the driver's seat.
On the other side, a little insult added to the injury. They're in a bad spot. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Mariota now to throw on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's James. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to strike for 6.
that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he may even buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. Now they try the right side here. A little juke, and he'll get this up to about the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got some space here. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
Now they try the right side here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Atkins from the gun on third down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Final play of the half here, Mariota. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through. And we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. This fielded at the 2. And some space here. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it. An advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second down, Mariota throwing the out route incomplete. That's Davis. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But really short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
On third down, Mariota. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. This may be one of the best stretches of defensive football that I've seen. I don't know about you. 5 sacks last week, now 3 here in this affair.
I would agree with that, and I've enjoyed watching the skill that's gone into it. You can see the intelligence behind it as well. He's watched tape, and he's setting people up. But relentless, that's the one word that keeps coming to mind. He does not want to be denied at getting to the quarterback.
And they're not denying him. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's closing in on that often elusive. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a handoff looking right. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And now here's a carry heading left. Finding some room at midfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 38 yards on the scamper there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The slot man in motion right. Time running out here on the play clock. Now they try the right side here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd down following the run.
Let's go.
operating from the gun. Atkins. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And the play clock's running down. Now a handoff looking right. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Atkins looking to throw on 2nd down. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look, credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A lone 2nd remains now in this 3rd quarter. And a give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. Back now in Nashville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And he's got room. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Mariota. And incomplete here on 3rd down. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. This is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Play clock winding down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. He's at the 50, the 40, past the 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd down, that's Morrison. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Let's go!
Now Atkins. Operating from the gun. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
To throw is Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
Yeah. Yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, every day I'm shot callin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, I've been ballin'. Yeah, just to let you know I'm ballin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know. Tell a hater get up out my face. Yeah, I've been ballin' since like yesterday. Yeah, all this money all up in the way. Yeah, all this money in the way. You know that I'm walking with the bank. Yeah, water, diamond on my ring. You know that I'm rockin' feel the blue. You know that, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, every day I'm shot callin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, I've been ballin'. Yeah, just to let you know I'm ballin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know. Yeah, you cannot see me, the windows is tinted. Yeah, driving around right in that Bentley. Hey, you driving around right in that Bentley. Hey, but your shit, it just be rented. Yeah, but that is none of my business. Hey, money won't stop me, go straight to the top. Believe it or not, you like getting the same. Yeah, she know I'm a rock star. Looking at my chain, on my diamonds rock hard. Turned the way up, I ain't getting tired. And if you wanna race, then we gonna ride. Yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, you know I've been ballin'. Ay, every day I'm shot callin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know I've been ballin'. Ay, yeah, I've been ballin'. Yeah, just to let you know I'm ballin'. I'm a spray. Make it rain just to let you know.
People tryna say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Man, amen. Spent about 60 on the time, I can't even lie. No way in, no way out, do or die. So on roll, when I roll, must be. Amen, man. I can't rob bins, I don't do peace. I beast, I gotta eat. Putting up the numbers, we ain't keeping score. Man, amen. I here on the block, my side. From the south, moved it to the west. Iced the logo on the cross, threw it on my neck.
paper, please protect me from my haters. Just say me and I won't save her. Say amen. Amen, 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 yeah. Amen. They boys and they can't win. Can't win, can't win, can't win, can't win. Check, 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 check. Going up, going up, going up. We in it, we gonna. Going up, going up, going up. Tell it like my persona. Going up, going up, going up. Remember them was honest. We used to drive them Hondas. Now we pull up in the Fondas. Glow up, walk in, show up, baby, hold up, glow up, boy, don't touch, we float, glow up, yeah. I'm laughing to the bank, all new blue Benny Franks, pulled up on him in the tank, yeah. That guy just a rap guy, I'm so mad fly in, he ain't. Let me back, tight gave me until I was going on Miami. They all cornballs, they can't stand me. I finesse, I done, I hit, get a plan. Oscar, that might whoa, no low, got strain on yo-yo. She post up her MCM and we like that JoJo. When we out and we see him, he always ask for photo. I say, Lord, be my savior when it come to getting this paper. Please protect me from my haters. Just say me and I won't save her. Say amen. Amen, 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 yeah. Amen. They boys and they can't win. Can't win, can't win, can't win, can't win. Check. Going up, going up, going up. We in it, we gonna. Going up, going up, going up. Did it like my persona. Going up, going up, going up. Remember them was honest. We used to drive them Hondas. Now we pull up in the Fondas. Glow up. Don't touch,